Hey, it's Vio. This is the doll deck I ran at the YCS today. Here's my token to prove that I did it. And the four of us, one of my favorite little tokens. The pudding cess was with him because he was playing Volcanics. That makes sense.
I was playing quote-unquote Middle Chase.
You know it.
Because swag.
Because swag. He wouldn't let me put the queen in his extra deck though. So we're going to start into the actual list though. Starting off with 3 Beast. I hate the fact you can't send this off math, but you can send squad and stuff. But you always find yourself, this card's just really good because you can get the random draws, which makes it so going first is not bad. 2 Hedgehog. 2 Hedgehog is good because it lets you add the Beast. That way I can send this instead of the Beast without having to waste a squaw. 2 Dragon because this card's great, being able to burn your opponent's cards out of their field and making it so you can push for random damage. 2 Falco. I put Falco up to 2 recently, and I was so glad I did because I would always have one that would flip up and get me a card back, and the other one that I'd summon to synchro. Really nice. And we have the 2 Squaw. I wish I had run more dolls, to be honest. All day I would run out of dolls. I did pretty well. I lost 3 games, won I think 4 or 5, but then I ended up going against, I got a couple of free game wins, and then I tied once. But, the squaw, it was really, really, really good, but I just wish I would have had more names a lot of the time, so. Moving on to non-dolls, I have 3 copies of Mathematician. This not only lets me send whatever I need at the time, it lets me turn himself into a light monster because of other cards, it lets me draw, which is really cool. 3 Veiler as one of our light monster targets, and the fact that it's a tuner and I can negate with it. It has so many different uses that it was phenomenal. Maxi, really good as an earth target. I did draw a couple cards off this, 2 to 3, actually whenever I would resolve it, but mainly I would use it to fuse. 1 Pero. Pero was never resolved his effect. Was so glad I had him because whenever he was in the graveyard, I had opponents that would just skip. They would not attack because they didn't want to lose their dude, so this would buy me a turn. Felice, I opened with her more times than I opened with anything else. Sorry about that, Beep. But I opened with her so much in my opening hand. But, I mean, it was made up for the fact that I would fuse with her, so that was always good. And BLS, always had him when it was time to, make game or something, or whenever the game would go into time, I would always get him. He's just like that. Never had to fuse with him. Nothing bad like that. He was just there when I needed him, helped me push for game a lot. So that's the monster lineup. There's a couple interesting things in there. I do wish I was running more dolls, as weird as it sounds. But yeah. I did not think I would face that much Necros. I was right, so I was running the 3 regular fusion, along with the 3 L fusion, which are really, really good together. I didn't really want to cut it. I did side out a lot depending on the matchup, certain ones. So I would side out a L fusion if I was facing something that used a lot of extra deck. I'd side out the regular fusion if they didn't. I like to keep about 5 or 4 of them in the main deck though. Book, Foolish. Foolish is cool because it generates free just random extra cards. Raigeki to pop things in the 1 space. I was running 1 space even though I was running the 2 Dragon, just because I always had those problematic cards that I could get around, and it did come in handy a lot. I found myself siding in the other 2 actually quite often. 1 Core. Opened with this card every game, not even kidding. Every game I did not open with Felice, this was in my hand. Anyone I dueled can confirm it. This was always in my hand if I did not have Felice. Rarely did I have both, but it was weird. But I mean, it's not that bad to have compared to Felice, who does nothing. 2 Mind Crush, really, really good. One of the main things is I could flip this up and call something random and then get to trigger a doll during their end phase. And I could call something that I wasn't sure if they had in their hand, and if they did, I hurt them. If they didn't, I got plus. So it was something really, really cool. The minus part goes away. The whole joke between mistake was a mistake. I played it. I only flipped it up, I think 1 time, and it was spaced. I never saw it any other times. It was always dead. There was never times that I needed it. Maybe in the side deck, but it did not help me in the hand. In main deck, it was pointless completely. I would have rather had spaces, to be honest. Ring, that card let me win exact game by popping a Dark Law, flip it up, pop Dark Law, put me at exact game, which was great.
What's your way on Ring, by the way? Just Snatch Steal all over again? Gonna get banned?
Oh, I don't think it'll get banned. you take damage first, which makes it dead a lot. A lot of cards don't die, but who knows? Who knows? Running Vanities, I don't know how to use Vanities. I hate it. It let me win some games because I had it in there, but it's really like, you gotta know when to use this card, and a lot of players don't know when to use it. I'm admitting I am not the best at using this card. I'll like flip it up at the wrong time or something. I won't wait till they pay cost. I won't do things like that. Warning came in so clutch. Like, nobody expects Warning in dolls for some reason. This was amazing. It saved my butt so much, and it was just great. That was the main. I'm gonna go extra inside a little bit quicker. 2 copies of Winda. I made this card one time, and I didn't even have to make it. To be honest, I would cut her down to 1. Like, she didn't do anything against anything. It was so bad. She was okay against tellers, like, maybe. Didn't ever get to do that. It was like, yeah, she didn't do anything for the deck to help the deck move forward, which is something that was the thing. It froze the game state, and that's something dolls don't like doing anymore. The 3 construct was good because it pushed for a game, put advantage. Always, it was like it let me turn different dolls in my hand into dolls that could pop cards on the field or do different things. Shikanaga, I wish I had a 3rd one. I would, in a heartbeat, drop a Winda for a Shikanaga. This card, Necros can't deal with it. You throw it in defense on the field, they cannot touch it at all. They try to use any effects, you can stop it with this thing. Really, really good. Unicorn hurts, but that's why you have Mind Crush to pop the Unicorn before they can get it out. Really good because of that, but really, really strong. It put my opponent in a bind when I got this card out. So I'm running Armadis and Goyo. Never made these ever. I considered doing this once, but I realized I had a Winda, couldn't. I actually did make a Yazi, and this card almost won me a duel once. Pulling this card out made it so the opponent couldn't do anything at all, and it was really, really good because of it. Black Rose, I like it because I'm running the Felice. I don't know if I'd cut the Felice, even though she was a lot of the times dead. She never was so dead that I wouldn't want to keep it in there, because being able to make Black Rose and the Yazi just with 1 card is really, really, really good. And turning Mathematician into a light monster is really nice. Giganta Castle, this is here in case if I needed to summon a Veiler to synchro with the construct, but I never really did. I made Leo a lot, just not even because it doesn't be targeted, but just because I could send the construct, get the effect to add back a fusion spell, fuse with that spell, and just be amazing. Musketeer and Exciton. Never made these, never had a chance, never would have. Like, there was never, I don't think there was ever a situation I had 2 level 4s out. So those cards were completely pointless. And the very last thing, sorry it's getting the camera shaky, we don't have a tripod here, so. Ryo, sided this in like every single game, just because I could. I needed to take out cards a lot and against certain matchups, so this card would come in just because it's a light monster I could swap it with. Farfa's in there. Sided this in a couple times, never actually used them because whenever I tried to use them I would have to make Winda, and I didn't like Winda, so I didn't use him ever, despite him being in the deck. This card came in clutch, like against the Necros player. This was super good. I would love it. I would like almost consider a 3rd one just because of how well it was. Flying Sea, really nice. It helped me like just keep the game in my favor just by having it in there, being able to fuse with it if I needed to. Really good. Dark Hole was helpful against the few matches I sided it in. It was really, really good. 2 space, I sided these in almost every game, at least one of them, because there's always cards that I'd want to space, and this was my way to take out the mistakes that I put in the main deck. Like I said, it was a mistake to run this because it did not help me ever. I was like swapping it for space all day. Soul Release came in so clutch. I was facing a Beals Turbo. They had like 2, it was something like 2 Beal, or not 2 Beals, 2 Mizuki and like 2 Plague Shredder in the grave, something like that. Flip up a Soul Release, banished it all. He couldn't make any recovery, and that was just game. Secret Tech of the Day, Poisonous Winds. I ran that in case I had to run Ritual Beast. I had no way to search it, no way to get to it or anything. It was literally in there because I wanted 1 more card, and I thought it was a cool idea just for the Ritual Beast. Mind Control, in case if I face something that, like a mirror, which is just, it's okay because you can take it and fuse with their monster just so they don't have a monster anymore. Stuff of the sort. Crush card. I don't know if I'd run this in the side. I mean, I'd either main it or cut it because it didn't do anything the rounds I brought it in because you never saw it. And, I mean, it's good, but it's not that good. Two Geometry, this came in so often. This is so good against everything. The damage you don't even care about a lot of times. I'd just sit there and draw cards while they couldn't do anything because there was 3 tokens on the field. And I just really, really liked it. My matchups for the day were really, really, really easy, per se, in a way. So, like, I did lose a couple games. I lost to Tellers that had a, Deneb lockdown, meaning he had Deneb. Anything else was just kind of us stopping each other from doing anything else. And nothing got accomplished in those games. The other deck, I lost to Necros in time, and I lost to the Dolls. Just, his deck, we opened the exact same, like half our hand was exactly the same. He just went second, so he had the 1 card plus. I do feel like
game 2 in time.
What?
Happening at this event.
Yeah, a lot of me happened in time. It was weird. There was a lot of time. But there's the deck. I've been wanting to play this for a while. The cards all jumped in price, so I will be selling them. So you probably won't see another profile for this deck in a while. I'm just gonna be honest. It was really, really fun to play. Hardly ever did I get like dead hands. Like, sure, I drew Felice a lot, but she was never really like the hands were never dead. It was really good, fairly strong all day, which is something I really liked about this deck. Really fun to play. I hope you enjoyed this profile. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And as always, have a wonderful day. Yeah.